Hi guys, welcome back to Finpact. Today we are here with another Palantir update video. As you know, Palantir is a data analytics company and they provide services both to the commercial sector but also the government. Now I've made a video on how I think the Palantir price could reach anything between $500 to $700 in the long term. Disclaimer, in the long term. So I want to talk about where we think the price is heading, and I'm going to be using my favorite platform to show you, which is XTB, and I'm going to show you using their X Station because I think it's a great tool to look at news for particular stocks, to do price analysis, draw your support and resistance lines, also check out news, look at their cool features like looking at their stock screener and things like that, their heat map. So I'm going to show you a bit of that in this video, but let's go into why I am super bullish on Palantir in the long term, despite the bearish news we are seeing in the market. So I'm just going to show you on my XTB's X Station. You can see I've drawn some support and resistance lines as to where I think the price is heading. I showed you this in my previous video, but I've amended it because of the bearish sentiment we've seen in the price recently. So here we saw the initial rally up back in 2020, and then we saw it hit its kind of all-time high at this point. It's fairly in its infancy, so it's going to take time for price action to take place, especially to reach those $500 to $700 prices we see in the future. The CEO of Palantir has really propelled it to become a global name, a choice for governments and commercial sectors to use the software that Palantir offers. So back to the price, we saw a bearish slump in the last few months throughout 2021, and over here we're at a level that is a lot lower, but this could be a great entry point for investors in my non-financial advisor opinion. But here are the potential upsides. If we see good earnings report being met and it meets expectations, then we could see that on the lower end around a $44 Palantir, and then on the higher end in the long term, as this chart goes on, we could see levels around $71 to $100. I would say the $100 mark would be the first point that Palantir will reach in the next few years, but in the long term it really could reach a $500 to $700 Palantir, depending on how many contracts they secure and how much exposure they get in the commercial sector. What I love about XTB is that they have this news section, so we can see that Palantir secured a lucrative contract with the US Army. Just click on this and it pulls up such an easy to read article rather than me having to go on a website. So Palantir stock launched today's session sharply, so we saw a bit of a upswing today when it announced that it won an $823 million Army contract to provide its Gotham platform, which is an operating system designed to optimize defense decision making. So Palantir really has a bit of a niche going on with governments and offering particular software for military operations in the Army. So they said that this capability will field modern data integration, correlation, fusion, and analytic capabilities that prepare the Army for the next fight against emerging near-peer threats. Now, this was really important news for Palantir. Palantir hasn't reported profits in the 17 years it's been operating, but this news was really important because as the company's revenues are largely dependent on contracts with the government agencies, so despite their recent quarter results, which were fairly poor, company shares did jump 163% since the company went public. So such news that they secured an $823 million Army contract is fundamental. Now, on bearish news, we can see that the UK government did end one of their data contracts with Palantir. So the Department of Health and Social Care issued a tender in August to move its adult social care dashboard from Palantir to a new system called Edge, which has been built by UK defense giant BAE Systems. So bit of bearish news there, but then we can counteract that with what we saw happen with the US Army deal. Again, we're seeing more bearish news. Hedge funds are dumping Palantir Technologies. Another bearish price target is on TipRanks, which gives price targets by collecting analyst ratings across the street. So they have given it a 24.20 cent price target based on 6 Wall Street analyst ratings, which is a 1% downside, not too detrimental. But back to XTB, if we look at market analysis for Palantir Technologies, we can see that recently the performance has been down in the 1-month chart. It's been down 8.2%, but it's still been up on the 3-month chart, 6-month chart, and the 1-year chart. I really find this chart useful because despite it being down 8.2% in the 1-month chart, we can still see the overall percentages that we are up for the Palantir stock price. And, you know, investing, there's always always ups and downs, especially in tech companies that are penetrating new markets and really trying to bring that industrial global change, because data is going to be the future. I mean, they say data is like the new oil. I mean, you can check out their key facts. Their market cap is 41.38 billion. Their return on equity has fallen 86% down, but their debt to equity ratio pretty decent, 13%. They're not overly levered. A really cool feature that XDB's XStation platform has is their heat map. So this is great when you want to look at different industries that are showing declines in overall industry performance, or is it just that particular stock? So recently we saw the decline in Palantir's price, but that's also been in generally IT services. Even Google is down, Microsoft, most of the tech giants are down. So it's not only that, but we're seeing booms in pharmaceuticals, healthcare. You can see in the heat map, the color scheme is here. So this is where the overall industry share prices are going down, and this is when they're in profits. So we're seeing beverages, media, all these industries showing increases, which kind of correlates to the easing of lockdown restrictions. But on tech industries, which did boom massively during the lockdown, we're seeing them down. So that could be directly correlated as to why we're seeing the slump in Palantir, aside from its fundamentals only. So guys, I want to keep this video short and snappy. Yes, we're in a bearish period with Palantir, but I've already made a video on why I'm really bullish on Palantir. I've linked it down below so you can see the fundamentals behind Palantir and why it's a great bet for the long term, in my non-financial advisor opinion. I personally am invested in Palantir. Also check out XDB. Their XStation platform is great when it comes to trading and investing. They offer options with leverage, which I find really useful, especially if you're trading on volatility and news in the markets. So yeah, don't forget to hit that like button down below and that subscribe button and that bell notification if you want to get informed on when I release a video. Also, I've linked all the XDB information down below. They have sponsored this video, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Bye guys.